Well, hi, thanks for joining me in my shop this afternoon. I think I'm going to give this radio a big test here, and this might be the final test. We'll see how it does during this. Now, it's 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Again, not really the best time to be listening to shortwave or even AM radio for that matter, but we're going to give it a go. So let's start with the broadcast band. Okay, here we go. Give it a minute or two to warm up. In the meantime, I think we need an antenna. Now, I do have an outdoor antenna here. Well, let's say at the far end of this cable, and I mean far away, is an outdoor antenna. But there's a long lead in here. This radio has, oh, it does have an internal antenna. What am I thinking? Oh yeah, hold on, stop everybody. Let's see what we get with this.
Subaru in cash rebates on all 2018 models. Or you can lease or finance any 2018 Subaru with rates starting from 0.5%. Like most good
a little bit of action in the eye here. Uh-oh. We're knocking into something. I think we're knocking into these buttons. I won't go any further. Yeah. Okay, so these buttons are a little loose. I need to tighten them back. So let's carry on here. I'll tighten them afterwards. Just tip them up a bit.
Radio 640 Toronto.
Protection here, Nordmende.
740. Even though it's just picking up noise, it's receiving quite well. This is pretty good for down in my shop at this time of day. Now, I will hook up. Let's go back to the station here. Okay, we'll find out what happens when we put the antenna on. Okay. Give it a way to boost. Quite a boost, but we lost the station. So what's happening here is the outdoor wire antenna is just bringing in a pile of noise, which isn't going to help us at all. So let's go to shortwave 1. Really fat chance on hearing anything. Now at this point, I believe there's no antenna connected. Okay, so they can't. Well, could be doing something with that loop antenna, maybe. See, this is 4 megahertz, 5 megahertz. We're not going to get anything at this time of day on that band for sure. Let's go back. Some kind of noise. Okay, shortwave 2, we stand a chance of picking something up, but you know, I got to put the antenna on it. Let's try it without an antenna. Why? Why not? It's pretty quiet. Okay, we'll put this antenna on. Back here. Oh, son of a gun. myself here. Okay, whoops, did not get it. There we are. So just the center lead is connected at this point, no ground. Okay, we're up here. We're at 18 megahertz. We're going to go down. That's not very reassuring at all.
Lo hemos hecho súper ameno, le doy las gracias a Alejandro y a ¿verdad? No pensaba que se iba a ir pero bueno, sí fue muy claro que él era fascista. Bueno, yo no, mira, la verdad es que hay que dejar claro que nosotros no estamos a favor de fascismo.
Okay, so that sounds to me like either Radio Cuba or Radio Marti, the American propaganda station. Could be lots of other things though. So we're around 11,500. 11. I'll go up this way. Same thing. You gotta have the fingers of a safecracker to tune a radio like this. This time of day, what we're most likely to pick up is shortwave from the southern United States or into Cuba. Oh, and that's about it, really. So it's sensitive, it's picking up lots of noises there. It's just not a lot of broadcast stations. So come on, right around 10 here. Can we find WWV here? 10's not very likely this time of day. We might get some stuff down here. And again, maybe not. We're way down here. It's around 7 megahertz here. What is that? Who knows? Okay, 10. Same one station, same thing. Let's go up from here. A little bit of a movement on the eye here, but not a lot. Basically, it's a poor antenna, I believe. Is what. I think there's a lot of European stations. It's about 13.5 in that area. I don't hear them. Around 15 we might get a time signal. Let's see. Lots more noise up there, but no signals. So it's just a bad time of day. My impression, even though we're not hearing much, is that it's actually working quite well. I fired this up in the evening, we're going to hear a lot. But now, here's the real McCoy. What does it do on FM? Okay, so yeah, treble up full, bass up full, why not? Better put an antenna on it here. Okay, so I'm going to try the same outdoor antenna. No idea if this is a good idea. It's FM, it's high frequency. I'm not sure that's going to help at all. Let's see. Weak signal. Okay, let's try my usual crummy indoor antenna here. My piece of wire antenna. Why so weak? It seems like this radio has two modes, a strong and a weak. It's no good. Last time it was like this, I just tapped this tube and away she went. I tracked it down to this connection being loose over here. Come on, radio. I did so much work on you. How come you're like this now? Let's keep looking for a stronger station here. .7. Well, this hasn't worked out. This is not working.
This is CBC Radio 1, 98.7 FM in Peterborough. Thomas Moore has reason to celebrate. He was determined to bring the murderers of his brother to justice, and he has just testified in front of a grand jury.
This is one of the weaker signals.
Hey, Dave, it was great. I feel good. 42 years, and I have did something.
But will the grand jury go through with an indictment?
It's right in the right spot. 91.5. It's right on.
Tonight at 8:30 in Newfoundland.
What happened to 95.7?
The news is next, followed by Ideas in the Afternoon with Paul Kennedy.
Frank Gehry
Sound is
is
very
one of the
good.
most important architects in the world today. He was born within a stone's throw of the Art Gallery in Ontario, which he recently redesigned. He also built the Bilbao Guggenheim. Frank Gehry on Ideas.
From CBC News, The World This Hour, I'm Helen Mann. We begin in Toronto with the latest on the mass shooting yesterday.
2 people have succumbed to the injuries. One is an 18-year-old female.
Yeah, another case of a crazy guy with a gun running down the street shooting people. This is like the second time this has happened in Toronto, and there was a crazy guy who drove his car just up onto a public street. He was upset at his girlfriend. He killed a bunch of people. I don't know. What goes on here? What is going on?
Also dead. We know he's 29 years old.
I don't know. I don't know what's
Not
going on.
released.
Well, what's going on with this radio? Let's try again. 95.7 should be a blaster. doesn't even show up. How can that be? 95.
Begun on separate investigations into the death of the shooter. This is done every time someone dies during an interaction with police. Monica Hudson speaks for the Special Investigations Unit.
I don't get
There
it.
was an exchange of gunfire between police and the man.
Let's go lower. Okay, so I'm gonna take this guess. The last thing I did with this radio on the FM band was I tuned the. I should have had this set to 90 or 105, and then did a couple of adjustments, and then did a couple of adjustments to kind of get this thing all lined up nicely. But I didn't. I can't do it. I don't have the ability to do that. So I did all four things at 100. And this may have been a big mistake. So as I tune the radio, what's happening is the radio's alignment is off. Instead of all the circuits tuning through, one of them is drifting off like this. So you can't, if you get what I mean there. I think this is a symptom of bad front end. So what we'll have to do is redo the front end tuning for the FM band by picking up stations at here and here, and using those as the test signal. I just can't produce an FM signal at 90 and 100 as the instructions require. So I think that's what's happened there, because certainly down in this range it's working pretty good. And this radio is probably going to go down to Toronto, probably going to be purchased by somebody in Toronto, probably operated in Toronto, and that means they're going to want to tune stations up at this end. There's a lot of good Toronto stations up at this end, and this radio is dead at this end right now. That's the situation. No surprise, got to do a little more work. But all in all, not too bad, considering I think this radio was basically purchased for $3 out of a scrap heap. I think that's where it's come from. Scrap heap to here. Okay.
No explanation.
Nice sounding.
Alyssa might call it. That's why I did the chain link years ago.
This is after I've done realigned as best I could. Not a very strong signal. It's a little weaker up at this end still. Now the stations up here are relatively weak at my house anyway. There's that weird hum. Well, I probably got copyright hits galore on this part of the video. So I think that's it. I don't think I can get it much better than that. I think I'm starting to do this. I get a little better at one end, a little worse at the other. I'm not really getting anywhere. The antenna I'm using is crappy. You put a proper FM antenna on this, and I think it's going to work really good. Take it down to the city of Toronto, get some strong FM stations going. It's going to sound great. That's it. Not bad for $3 in the junk bin. So thanks so much for watching the whole series. I am done now on this, and we're going to move on to a classic 2-band shortwave big floor standing radio. Fantastic. Hey, thanks again so much for watching all this. We'll see ya.